Hey guys, what's up? Since all of you demanded, so congratulations and enjoy this series. It's called Science and Technology. It's the only thing which you'll ever need to clear either prelims or mains in UPSC. It will be very lucid, very to the point. I know more than half of you watching this will be non-science students. Science देखते हालत खराब हो जाती है कि ये तो पढ़ना ही नहीं होता. But still you have to read it. Why do you have to read it? Because out of 180 IAS officers of 2014 batch, approximately 110 are doctors plus engineers. So this is the ratio which is going on, and the success ratio for science graduates is very high because of this reason, because they score very hugely in science and tech plus the CSAT portion, plus in other portions also they are equally competent. So especially for non-science graduates this becomes very important, and also for science graduates they take sometimes things for granted and then they are destroyed by science and tech. So anyway, this will be an introductory video. If you have any doubt or any query, obviously you know where to go. This is a Facebook page. You can also post it below the video on YouTube, and do hit the thumbs up if you want me to continue this series. I'll know that you liked it. So the first thing first, what is the first thought that ever comes in your mind when you have to study science and tech? Like honestly speaking, सोचो क्या आता है दिमाग में पहली बार. So for most of the students, this comes in their head that science and technology is very cold subject. Cold means not emotional. It's very hard. Again, like absolutely separated from humanities. It is intangible. That is, you can't touch it. Means you can't like really feel it. That in everyday life, you gotta be really smart. You have need to be IQ of 200 to study it, and it's totally a academic subject. That is why it is useless for everyday life. This is the thoughts which comes in the head of most of the people. But believe me, the most important contribution for me sitting here and teaching you is science. I am a very highly scientific person, and the entire credit goes to science. Now, many of you think that after that 5-6 points which I have already told you, so now you should know why is it part of your syllabus. Many people criticize it. Forget about everything else. Don't ask why it is part of the syllabus. The knowledge of basic sciences is part of being human, not the NGO, being human being. If you are human, you need to be scientific. That's it. The entire progress of humanity is dependent upon science since the day one. It helps us understanding how the world around us works. कुछ पता चल जाएगा मतलब why rain occurs, why ice occurs, why rainbow occurs. These simple basic things a kid of 5th class should know. Most of you do not know that is sadly, and most of you will become officers, civil servants, and still you will not know. That is the sadder part. But try to understand how the world around us works. It makes your life easier. Being a civil servant, it means taking rational, logical, and analytical decisions, and science education helps with that. That is the only education which can help you separate emotions from rationality. Science and technology is obviously future of everything, absolutely everything under the sun. All the progress which is either economic or otherwise, completely, totally, utterly, ridiculously, it is dependent on science and technology. Without science and technology, there is no modernity, there is no future. So you need to be aware about all the recent development in this field. Without basic IT skills, obviously you cannot function as a civil servant. That's per given. And you will be asked to implement various policies very early in your career. So you should know these things very basically. Even in LBS and NA, we are having a lot of classes on IT skills and all in science. So you should know these skills even before entering the services. Now the key word today is e-governance. So without these IT skills, without these science and tech skills, there is no e-governance. Why e-governance is catchy? Because corruption is inversely proportional to e-governance, and it is a route to root out corruption. It minimizes human interface when you use science and technology in administration. Obviously, it will lead to better, faster, and cheaper service delivery to citizenry, and better implementation and monitoring of all programs and schemes. ये सबको पता है. ई गवर्नेंस का आंसर है तो यही लिख के आ जाना. 5 पॉइंट बहुत नंबर आएंगे. तो ये कुछ साइंसेज हैं यार, देख लो. 0101 होता है, ये होता है फॉर्मल साइंसेज. दे कैन नॉट बी क्लासिफाइड इनटू द स्केल. ये स्केल क्या है? ये मीटर का स्केल है भाई. So 10 to the power minus 12 is picometer, this is femtometer, this is nanometer, this is micrometer, this is millimeter. यहाँ पे 0.01 होगा तो सेंटीमीटर, this is 1 मीटर, ये किलोमीटर है तो मतलब दिस इज़ अ मेगामीटर. सो यू जस्ट नो दीज थिंग्स. अगर नहीं भी पता हो तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, पढ़ लेना, कहीं पे मिल जाएगा. Below this is what is we call as string theory, which deals here, and above is the parallel universe, which is above the visible universe. Now these are the formal sciences, that is the maths and logic. उनको भूल जाओ. Physical science, they deal with the level of atom to particles. They are basically physics and chemistry. Life sciences at cell level or human level, then it occurs at life sciences, cellular biology. Then social sciences, psychology, sociology, they are not really science, but just to include everything. Earth and space में astronomy and geosciences. So this is the hierarchy of sciences, and these are the distances. So in just one scale, you have from the smallest particle to the entire universe can be plotted in one scale. This is the power of science. You can't do it with any other tool. नाउ अभी सब तो कचरा था, जो किसी को पढ़ना होता है पढ़ लो, नहीं पढ़ना मत पढ़ो. Those of you who are interested, I told you for that. Now comes the key point. What is the syllabus? Why do we need to study? What is come? See, there is considerable overlap with environment and ecology portion. No one can separate कि भाई ये environment का क्वेश्चन है, science का क्वेश्चन है. This is not done. Most of the questions are like slightly overlapping category, so no watertight compartmentalization. बड़ा word है. Prelims में according to the notification, this is the general issues and environmental ecology, biodiversity, climate change that do not require subject specialization. मजे ले रहे हैं. You need to read it like a specialist only. That's how the question will be answered. And this is the single term which is mentioned for science and tech, general science. So what is general science? Why for mains, a well-educated person, according to them, I don't know who is a well-educated person, will be able to answer them without any specialized study. I have not seen more ridiculous statement than this. I don't think I am well-educated person if this definition is applied. You need to study obviously for that in a specific details. ये topics हैं e-technology in the aid of farmers, science and tech developments and applications in everyday life, achievements of Indians in S&T, awareness in fields of IT, space, computer, robotics, nanotech. It is very very important prelims as well as mains. Biotech extremely important for prelims and mains. IPR extremely important for mains examination. Then this is the environment and ecology portion. Conservation, environmental pollution, degradation, EIA. EIA is extremely important. One question in prelims or mains, 100% guaranteed. Disaster and disaster management, not specifically science and tech portion, but still I have dealt in videos 1.1 to 1.4. You can watch all these 4 videos. Nothing outside of it will come. And internal security, especially the cyber aspect, is extremely important, and it comes under science and tech. So this was the entire syllabus. So just read whatever is relevant to the syllabus. Why is it important to read it? Like अगर छोड़ दोगे तो क्या होगा? If you leave science and tech तो क्या होगा? मतलब have you ever asked this question to yourself? Basic rule of thumb is 35 to 40% of paper 1 for last 6 years is coming from science and tech and environment and ecology. छोड़ दो भाई, तो prelims में तो नहीं हो रहा. That is guaranteed. Paper 1 में तो you will not qualify unless you score 190 marks in paper 2. So it is good to read these two topics combined together. Environment and ecology is covered by me in exhaustive details. Approximately 20 videos are there. You can watch them and enjoy your life. For science and tech, I'll again make 20 videos, and I don't think anything will come out of it. 2010 prelims, 18 science and tech and 17 E&E, so total 35 questions. 2011 prelims, 15 questions came from science and tech, mains में 5 आए थे. 2012 में prelims में 16 क्वेश्चन आए थे, मेंस में 12 5 markers, 9 2 markers came from it. 2013 prelims में 13 questions came of it. That is biology में 4 was health related, 4 were botany related, 5 were physics related. This was the paper which I gave, so I know them very well. Out of these 13, I was able to do 12 correct. So that was one of the strengths to get high scores in prelims. On mains also, which I gave, 5 out of 25 questions, I knew all of them very easily. And 20% of paper 3 was combined by this science and tech. It's very easy to remember if you have logic, and you can score approximately full marks all the time. And 2014 prelims, 16 questions came from it. That is the last year. And this year also I am predicting anywhere between 15 to 20 questions from science and tech after 4 months. And mains, 4 out of 20 questions in mains came from this December only, 4 or 5 months ago. 25% of the paper 3 was combined by science and tech portion. So now you know why it is important to read it. So anyway, now we have resolved our doubts. तो आगे चलते हैं. अब resources क्या है भाई, इसके देख लो. This is a decreasing order of importance. Please remember it. उल्टा मत चालू करना. I have seen people who will say कि Romans are told कि Lucent पढ़ लेना, तो they start reading Lucent only and then everything else is forgotten. This is in decreasing order of importance. More than 50% of science and tech question will come from NCERTs. Simple सा logic है. Out of that 50%, at least 50% will come from biology. So let's say 20 questions are coming. So at least 10 to 12 questions will be from NCERTs. Out of this, 5 to 6 questions will be from biology. Is that understood? This is at least I am speaking. It can be more also. NCERTs कौन सी पढ़नी है? 6 से 10 तक तो ऐसे कैसे पढ़ लेना साइंस की. Don't ask questions twice. Selective reading of class 11th 12th NCERT of PCB. M नहीं पढ़नी, मैथ्स नहीं पढ़नी, फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री एंड बायोलॉजी. उसके अलावा लास्ट 10 years prelims questions and last 8 years mains question papers. Please solve them. It will be highly beneficial for you. Then whatever field Nobel Prize of biology, medicine, physics, chemistry, whatever is there, basically these are the fields in which it is given for the last 3 years. Biology is not the correct term, it is rather physiology or medicine which is the correct term. So the Hindu newspaper now, the Thursday edition needs to be read by you. Now it is losing its sheen. तो ये मत पढ़ना कि in New York Research Center is trying to develop a medicine for curing a cancer in 2050. Please do not read such. At max read the headlines plus the 2 to 3 basic facts under it. That's it. If a new scheme in TB has come and how it is affecting, that's it. How diagnosing of tuberculosis is affecting, that's it. Like the conditions which are relevant to us, not an anti-aging medicine, these kind which will be developed in future, they are not important. Finally, science reporter, last 12 edition before the exam. So let's example you are appearing in August of 2015. So read from August to August for prelims, and for mains read from January to December. Is that understood? January to December of 2015. And finally, for the basic stuff, you can go for Lucent of GK. Apart from these resources, absolutely nothing is required to study at all. Now from class 12th biology NCERT, this is my personal breakup. I have read this book at least 18 to 20 times during my board examination, during my IAS preparation, and during my these preparations, so I know it inside out. Start reading chapter 13 to 16. If you do not have read these chapters, just watch the environment and ecology videos which I made. It covers these chapters thoroughly. Then chapter 12, biotech and its applications, extremely important, followed by chapter 8, 9 and 10. फिर भी टाइम मिल जाए, then read reproductive health, then evolution, and then chapter number 5. And then chapter number 6 is not to be read entirely. Just read Human Genome Project and DNA fingerprinting and the basic definitions of the processes, nothing more. And finally, the last priority is to be given to the chapter 11, that is the biotech principles and processes, and chapter 1 to 3. If you have time, you can read entire thing. Otherwise, follow these things. They are also in decreasing order of importance. Is that understood? Please remember this and write it down on a piece of paper. Now, class 11th biology NCERT, start with 16 to 22, unit 5 human physiology, then unit 1, unit 3, unit 4 and unit 2. So this is the order in which you should proceed. If you want to leave, you can leave unit 2 totally, but try to read at least the basics of these units otherwise. Then physics 11th and 12th NCERT, the key point is you can do without reading it. You can do very well without reading it, that's for granted. But still, if you want to have like 1 to 3 questions buffer which might come, then 11th class chapter number 1 physical world you can read. It's a very good, very general. And chapter 2 units and measurements, some of the questions might come from this. And chapter 15, just read the Doppler effect and other important effect. It can come like they can ask what evidence do you have if universe is expanding, etc. Then class 12th read the volume 2, it is very good. Just the chapter number 9, उसमें पूछते रहते हैं कि why rainbow formation occurs, why mirage formation occurs, why diamond sparkles, what is TIR. So these are things which come from ray optics, and if you just read it, just glance through it, you will get a good idea. Then chemistry NCERT, the class 11th part 2, read the chapter unit 14 environmental chemistry. It's very crucial. इसमें smog और वो सब दे रखा है, तो questions will come from it. And like class 12th NCERT part 2, sorry, so read like last 3 chapters, that is biomolecules, polymers and chemistry in everyday life. 100% 1 to 2 questions will come from this chemistry NCERT. So now moving forward, this is obviously my personal favorite, what is to avoid. India yearbook, please do not read it. It is lots and lots of data. It is not at all essential to read it now. No manual or big journals, please, like big manuals of 1500 pages, they are not required. No need to read any coaching notes. At max you can go and buy Vajiram. That is also not necessary. If you want to, you can go to. Many people, these are the new trend now, to go to Ministry of Science and Technology, Department of Atomic Research, and उसी में खोए रहते हैं हमेशा. यार इनफाइनाइट इन्फॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल, PIB एंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स, उस पर पढ़ते रहेंगे. प्लीज डू नॉट गो टू दीज वेबसाइट्स और मिनिस्ट्रीज और डिपार्टमेंट्स, नॉट नेसेसरी फॉर योर प्रिपरेशन unless you want to resolve a very very specific query or doubt, and no need for studying anything else at all. Just watch the videos and follow my advice, and you will correct more than 80% questions, 100% guaranteed. More than 80% questions, 100% guaranteed. Now what are the questions? This is the most important slide of this video. Please focus on it with your wholeheartedness and full mindedness. First of all, there are four type of questions which they ask. First is the basic scientific facts, बहुत ही simple. That is, which metal is liquid on room temperature? What is the composition of sun? Helium, hydrogen, mercury. इसका mercury, इसका helium, hydrogen. What are the forces of nature? Electromagnetic force, gravitational force, etc. etc. चार होती हैं, सबको पता है. These are the basic scientific facts which they will ask you 100%. Then there is what is the underlying scientific principle for everyday phenomena. They will ask you why stars twinkle, 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 little star. Why sun is visible technically after sunset. Why do we have goosebumps? Why do we have that? Why do? This will start with something like why do, always. Then the third type of question is misnomer or the paradoxical questions. Why lead pencils have lead? That's why they are called lead pencils. Or small intestine is smaller. So these are the questions which are misnomer or paradox. Lead pencil do not have lead. Lead pencils are not of graphite. Everybody knows. Small intestine is not smaller in length. Rather, it is meters and meters more longer than the larger intestine. But it looks small in diameter. That is why it is called a small intestine. And finally, the recent advances like Indian Regional Navigational Satellite System. Recently, a satellite has been launched. Then a Mars orbiter mission, Higgs boson particle, anything, Large Hadron Collider, any evolutionary jumping, कुछ भी जो recent development है, they will be asked. So these are the only four type of questions which will come from science and technology portion. If you now you can like guide your study according to it. So कुछ क्वेश्चन होंगे जैसे why diamond sparkles, why rainbow formation occurs, why do we see mirage on the road on a hot day. The answer is TIR, total internal reflection, to most of them. Rainbow में थोड़ा dispersion भी होगा, refraction भी होगा, but the answer remains the same for all of three. Then why do we feel cold when alcohol touches our skin? I am talking about spirit which we use to clean skin, otherwise also. Because it leads to evaporation instantly and heat goes out. Why leaves feel moist? Because of transpiration, which is a form of evaporation. Why do we sweat more in summers? Again because we want to lose heat, that is why we sweat more in summers, again because of evaporation. Why lead pencils are a misnomer? Why snake bite doesn't always kill? Because most of the snake are not poisonous, 90% of them are not poisonous. Why do we start breathing heavily once we go high, on a higher altitude? Because the air pressure is low, so oxygen delivery does not occur properly, so we breathe heavily, and our hemoglobin RBC also increases. Why is it difficult to make tea on high altitude? Again because air pressure is low, so there is depression in boiling point. अगर boiling जल्दी हो जाता है water का तो tea ढंग से बनेगी नहीं. So they are the simple questions which you should know the answers to. What are diamond, graphite, graphene or fullerene? These are allotropes of carbon. Why do carbon forms organic compound? Because it can form four bonds. It has variety of bonds. Then galvanized iron sheets have a coating of, everybody knows zinc. What is galvanization? To protect iron from rusting or giving, what is it? To give it strength, or what is the reason? What is heavy water? It is not water which is heavy or pH is 7, or it is rainwater because it has dust, it becomes heavy. It is D2O, deuterium. Then non-stick cooking utensils are coated with which compound? It's compound of fluorine called Teflon. यही क्वेश्चन आते हैं. These are the type of questions which they'll ask you. Monazite is an ore of thorium. Permanent hardness of water is removed by some. Everybody knows sodium carbonate. Most of you might not be knowing it, but doesn't matter. So these are the type of questions. Most important ore of aluminum is bauxite. What is sun made up of? Helium, hydrogen. Why don't we die of infection if we have many so bacteria are inside us? Many people keep wondering this because they are not harmful bacteria. They live in symbiosis with us. They digest various foods. They create various enzymes and vitamins for us. What all diseases are eradicated from India? You must have heard yaws. You must have heard smallpox. You must have now heard polio, almost guinea worm. So these are the diseases which are eradicated from India. Which two semiconductors elements are used for making transistors? Everybody knows silicon and germanium. If you don't know, then this is how your preparation should go. Which of the following is a chemical change? Example, rusting of iron is a chemical change. However, freezing of water is a physical change. If blood is not clotting, which vitamin is to be given? This is a very critical question. So vitamin K. So you should know your vitamins. What is colostrum? The first milk that comes out from mother is colostrum. What is unique to an individual? These are the 4 things which are unique to an individual, like DNA, the fingerprint, the sole print, like a feet print, and retina. So these are unique to an individual. Then what is genetic engineering? What are its boon? What are its bane? What are the different types of pollinating agents which are available? Let's say wind is also a pollinating agent, water is also a pollinating agent, animals are also pollinating agents, insects are also pollinating agents, birds are also pollinating agents, mammals are also pollinating agents. So there is huge variety. What is biopesticide? What is bt cotton? What is bacillus thuringiensis? How does it occur? How does it function? What is heavy metal poisoning? What is e-waste? Is it safe for children to use lead pencil because it has lead in it? बहुत ऐसे क्वेश्चन घुमा घुमा के आते हैं. What is CFC, chlorofluorocarbon? Why damaging to environment? Because it depletes ozone layer. Why can't be brain transplanted? Can stem cells create brain? Which organs can be transplanted out of these? In general, only the important organs are transplanted. See, without liver you can't function, you will die. Without kidney you will die. Without brain you will die. Without heart you will die. Without lungs you will die. Spleen is not essential. Thyroid is not essential. Testis, ovary, uterus, they are not essential. Gallbladder is not essential. So liver can be transplanted, kidney can be transplanted, heart, lungs can be transplanted, cornea can be transplanted. Now what are stem cells? So this is extremely important. What is e-waste? What is nuclear waste? What is renewable energy? These are the keywords which will be coming. Now what is responsible for evolution? Which elements were present? Like hydrogen was there, ammonia was there, what methane was there, what else was there? Was oxygen there? No, oxygen was not there when earth came into being. Oxygen is there after like 1 billion years. Earth came into being about 4 billion years ago. Oxygen only came about 2.5 billion years ago. So for approximately 45% of history of earth there was no oxygen. There was no oxygen. This is extremely hard. This is rather baffling for non biology students, but this is the truth. तो भाई रहता कौन था उस टाइम, इस टाइम पे यू एनारोबिक बैक्टीरिया ऑब्वियसली, सो दे आर द फर्स्ट पायनियर इन अर्थ. हाउ कैन यू प्रूव यूनिवर्स इज एक्सपेंडिंग? बहुत सारे एग्जांपल होंगे, डॉपलर इफेक्ट होगा, फलाना फलाना. देन द थोरियम एडवांटेज ओवर यूरेनियम, बिकॉज वी हैव थोरियम माइंस, दे विल आस्क यू व्हाट इज एडवांटेज ऑफ थोरियम. व्हाट इज नैनोटेक? व्हाट आर द अडेप्टेशन ऑफ डेजर्ट लीव्स? व्हाट इज अफ्लाटॉक्सिन? किससे बनता है? फंगस से, एल्गी से, प्लांट से? कौन बनाता है? लीवर को डैमेज करता है, कहाँ से आता है? Why always transplantation is not successful? What is graft versus host disease? What is immunity? What is immune rejection? Then how cold storage of food works? It decreases the rate of respiration. It decreases the production of a plant hormone which is called as ethylene. So these are the questions which you should all know. What is the common name of fungus? Molds are fungus. Algae क्या बोलते हैं algae को commonly? Bryophytes को क्या बोलते हैं? Have you heard the term moss? They are bryophytes. Have you heard the term ferns? They are pteridophytes. Well, how does transmission of disease occurs? What is waterborne infections? What is airborne infections? What is bloodborne infections? नीडल से क्या क्या ट्रांसमिट हो सकता है? कैन डेंगू भी ट्रांसमिटेड फ्रॉम नीडल? कैन चिकनगुनिया भी ट्रांसमिटेड फ्रॉम नीडल? कैन हेपेटाइटिस भी ट्रांसमिटेड फ्रॉम नीडल? हेपेटाइटिस में भी फिर वैरायटी हो जाएंगी. ए एंड ई आर फीको ओरल रूट एंड बी एंड सी आर ब्लड रूट. देन व्हाट आर द फोर्सेज ऑफ नेचर? That is 4 forces: electromagnetic, gravitation. You must be knowing that. Why is the small intestine called small intestine? Why do we have appendix, hairs or wisdom tooth if they do not have any function? So these are the type of questions which you should be gathered your preparation around. Finally, this is the eye openers which you should be extremely aware. Just try to read SNT for 2 to 4 weeks, 2 times in your preparation. एक बार पढ़ लेना और फिर एग्जाम से पहले पढ़ लेना. Follow my advice and videos and you will attempt more than 80% of the questions, 100% guaranteed. No one, I repeat, no one in this world can attempt all the questions correctly. Even IITians, Amsonians, जो भी आपको लगता है, जो बड़े लोग होते हैं साइंस पढ़ने वाले, who have spent their entire teenage years studying science at cutting edge, they are also baffled by few questions in civil services examination. So don't be afraid कि भाई उनको तो सब कुछ आता है, हम पढ़ के क्या करेंगे. अगर उनके 11 में से 13 में से 11 सही हो रहे हैं, and if you are correcting 9 out of 13, it is more than enough. It is more than enough you have achieved. Because prelims में doesn't matter if you have 309 or you have 250, as long as you're above the cutoff, it's okay. और ये भी मतलब नहीं है कि पढ़ना ही छोड़ दो उसको कि भाई कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. मतलब don't go in either extreme. This is the problem with us. Like if I say don't read it, then you don't read at all. Like read in between, just like don't work hard. That's all what I want to say. Hard work does not work in science. Realistic target setting with smart work is the key to success here. So I hope you enjoyed this introductory video. I hope it was good enough for you, and those of you who wanted this new series might get benefited from it. So please spread the word and do hit the thumbs up, like button, so that I know that you are appreciating this video, and I will continue making like 10-20 videos and everything will be covered under it. Please be a part of this education revolution. Especially spread the word for those who cannot afford coaching. And thank you for watching the video. This is the YouTube channel, this is the Facebook page, and this is the Twitter handle. Please follow me on Twitter, as I will be able to reply to the queries much faster. Have an awesome day.